bandwidth for more than this. Good morning, everyone. In last class, we have a start discussion on dividend policy. I explain you the purpose of dividend policy is last class we start discussion on dividend policy, and I told you the major purpose of dividend policy is to decide a dividend payout ratio, which can be calculated mainly by two methods. That is a dividend per share or EPS method, and other one is retention ratio method. Now we'll start discussion on what are the major significance of dividend policy. What are the major objective of this dividend policy? Why this dividend policy is very important? Why this dividend policy keep a very important role? Why it's considered as one of the most important role in the life of a finance manager? So we will discuss on what are the major significance and objective of dividend policy. As you can see on your screen, the first significance is emphasized on a balance. Okay, it's emphasized on a balance of a growth of a company and distribution to the shareholder. While discussing a unit 1, I explained you a concept called agency problem, where the agency problem was simply a conflict between manager and a shareholder, because both the person, manager as well as shareholder, both have a different priority, both have a different objective when they are running a firm. Manager is looking for profit maximization, while shareholder is looking for wealth maximization. So always there is a conflict between a manager and a shareholder. So dividend distribution, the dividend policy is something which can create a balance between the expected growth of a company and the expectation of a shareholder. If you are a shareholder of any company, mainly you are concerned about your growth as a shareholder. Your growth may link to the profit of a company, but we are more concerned about our growth. We are more concerned about the profit which can be created for a shareholder, and that profit can be shown as an amount of dividend received. That profit can be calculated as a dividend yield. That's why when a company try to create their dividend policy, they take care of the expected growth of a company, as well as they try to create a balance with the expectation of a shareholder. Like if company give a more dividend, the retention ratio will go down, the amount, the cash reserve will go down in a company, and due to lack of cash, due to shortage of a cash, company cannot plan their growth in the future. Company cannot fund the expansion plan in the future. That will hamper the growth aspect of a company. Similarly, if company is not declaring a dividend for their shareholder, it might possible shareholder go away from a company, and going away will create a panic in a market, and market valuation of share will go down. In both conditions, company cannot survive for a longer period. Neither in situation 1, when company does not have a fund, does not have a cash to fund their expansion. In that situation, company is supposed to wind up their business. Or second, in condition of low market valuation, which is going away of shareholder from a particular company, will also create a same panic situation in the market, and company cannot survive in their business. So the first significance, the first objective of a dividend policy to create a balance between the expected growth rate and expectation of a shareholder. Every time when a manager, when a finance manager or board of directors think about a dividend policy, they always think about these two aspects. So they try to keep a dividend at a constant rate. Generally, all the companies paying a dividend on a constant rate. This constant rate concept says that if last year company had paid a dividend of 10 rupees, this year they try to pay a growth of, let's assume, 5%. They will pay 10.5. Next year, they will add more 5% into that and they try to pay 11.10. So every company try to pay a dividend which grow at a constant growth rate, just like a growth of a company. So it will create a balance. The company growth will be intact. Company can grow at their sustainable growth rate. Same time, the shareholder will remain happy and remain invested in a company for a longer period. So by dividend policy, a manager can create a value for a firm, as well as manager can meet the day-to-day operational need of a company. So it's become very important for any financial manager. The second major objective is cash conversion need. The need of cash conversion. Every company have a certain need of cash conversion. When we are talking about the cash conversion concept, is directly linked with the company's day-to-day activity, company working capital need, company, what happened? When we are talking about cash conversion need of a company, cash conversion need mainly try to explain two parameters. The first parameter is meeting a working capital requirement, which is a day-to-day activity of company. And second, the need of additional fund for next year. Every company do have their internal source of revenue, do have the internal source of a cash. By dint of internal sources, company may look for external sources of finance, like in form of loan, in form of equity, to meet their annual growth requirement. So cash conversion need simply explain the requirement of cash for next year. So dividend policy have a second major objective, which will fulfill the requirement of cash for next year. Like if company have a higher profit this year and company want to distribute entire amount to their shareholder, the company cash reserve will go down. So cash conversion need will increase to next financial year. So as a manager, the major significance of dividend policy, you have to keep watch on cash conversion need for a company. The third point, which is they clearly say that dividend policy influence the value of a firm. I already explained many times into this chapter. The dividend have a direct influence on a market value of a share. If company is giving a higher amount of dividend, automatically it's give a message in the market that company do have a higher expectation in terms of their income and profit. So that message, that information will attract more shareholder, more investor to invest into shares of that particular company. And that sudden increase in demand will increase the price of a share, and the price of share will lead a value of a firm, because when we calculate value of a firm is calculated like market price into number of outstanding shares. So every time if there is a change in the market price, it will impact the value of a firm, and your market price is directly driven. Your market price have a direct relation with the amount of dividend. Your market price of a share have a direct influence of a dividend policy for a company. So it become a critical objective of dividend policy to influence the value of a firm. That's why all the big company, all the major player in Indian stock market try to keep their dividend at a constant growth rate, because they do not want a sudden change in the market price of their share. So they try to increase or decrease their dividend with a constant and gradual interest rate. Every year they will increase by 5%, 2%, 3%, or they will reduce by 10%, 2%, or 5%. There should not be a sudden change in your dividend policy, because the sudden change in dividend policy might impact the market price, which will reduce the value of a firm. So that is the third point. The dividend policy have a critical influence and value of a firm. See, dividend policy is not only creating a link between growth of company, but is also required for a long-term financing decision. The long-term financing decision is always linked with a company future plan. So when you are taking a dividend decision, automatically you are thinking for your future plan of a company. The future plan in terms of when do you want to start a new company, when do you want to enter into a new market, what is a plan about a new product development. Everything will be considered by taking a dividend decision, because if you are not considering this long-term aspect, you might take a wrong dividend decision when company may end up in shortage of cash, company may end up in shortage of fund. In that situation, you have to wind up your business. So it's always create a balance between a long-term financing and wealth maximization to the shareholder. I already explained this part. Market price get affected by dividend paid less, or affected if dividend paid less, because at this part, because critical influence of a value of firm. The value of firm is directly depend on a dividend paid. So this point, the market price get affected by dividend paid or less. It means every time the shareholder keep watch on a dividend policy of a company. If a company is giving a less amount of dividend in comparison to other their peer groups or other company in an industry, it's clearly indicate, or it may be one of the indication that company is not making good profit. So that not making good profit will create a bad sentiment in a market and share price may go down. Certain company consider this dividend policy as a prestige issue for a company, as a goodwill gesture of a company. That was a case of Ventura Textile. Ventura Textile is now an obsolete company in a market. That company was paying very high dividend. The dividend yield was more than 100% in 2008, 2006, and 2007. That was the major reason behind binding of the business, because certain company consider dividend is their prestige issue. If they are declaring a higher amount of dividend, their goodwill may go up and shareholder will remain intact with them. So the dividend policy may be linked to the goodwill and prestige issue of a company. Next objective or next significance is retained earning. If your dividend policy will directly impact the retained earning, and this retained earning help any firm to focus on their growth, expansion, and modernization of a firm. The dividend policy have a direct impact on retained earning. The dividend policy, if you are declaring a higher amount of dividend, it means you are retaining a less income, you are retaining a less cash for your expansion or a growth plan. So dividend decision always linked with a retained earning. And this retained earning will help you for a growth, expansion, and modernization of fund when it needed. So if we try to sum up the entire thing, all the significance of this dividend policy, we can come on one line that dividend policy will impact your financial structure, will impact your flow of fund, will impact your liquidity, will impact your stock price, will impact the growth of a company, as well as investor satisfaction. It means if a company is taking a dividend decision, their decision will impact every aspect of a finance of a company. That aspect may be external or internal in nature. That aspect may be accounting or financial in nature, but every aspect, every factor of a finance will be impacted by a dividend policy of a company. Like your financial structure, the combination of debt and equity will be affected by a dividend. If you are declaring a higher amount of dividend, your company may have a shortage of cash. To fulfill that shortage of cash, you may create a more loan, more debt from a market, and increasing a debt will change your leverage ratio. That is a direct impact on financial structure. The second one, flow of fund. As we know that flow of fund is simply flowing of inflow and outflow of fund from a company side. So dividend will decide your flow of fund. If you are declaring a higher amount of dividend, your cash outflow will increase. If you are declaring a low amount of dividend, your cash reserve will increase and you will lose the opportunity cost. So we can neither declare a high amount of dividend nor we can declare a less amount of dividend. Because if we are declaring a higher amount of dividend, that will increase our cash outflow or fund outflow, which will create a shortage of cash. And if we are declaring a low amount of dividend, the cash reserve will increase. An increase in cash reserve will increase the opportunity cost for a company, because we are not using that cash for any other purpose. So not using a cash will increase your opportunity cost. So it becomes a very critical for a manager. We cannot declare a low amount of dividend, neither we can give a higher amount of dividend, because the flow of fund will get impacted. Similarly, it's have an impact on corporate liquidity. Corporate liquidity is simply defined as the amount of cash, the amount of liquid asset lying with a corporate. This can be calculated by a liquid ratio or quick ratio. So dividend decisions have a direct impact on the liquidity of a company, because your dividend will decide the cash reserve. Your dividend will decide a liquid asset in a company. So if you are giving a higher amount of dividend, your liquidity will go down. And if you are giving a low amount of dividend, your liquidity will increase. But none of the company would like a more liquidity. Company does not want a more liquidity, neither they want a high liquidity. They want an optimal liquidity. So the dividend decision becomes very significant to manage a corporate liquidity. The next impact on a stock price, I already explained you that the stock price have direct influence of a dividend, because dividend declaration of dividend give a direct message to the shareholder. Giving a more dividend will attract more shareholders, more investor towards company, which will increase the demand and increase your stock price. And giving a less dividend in comparison to your peer group will give a negative information in a market, and that will reduce your stock price. So always a stock price get impacted from a dividend policy. Growth of a company, there are two types of growth company can think of. One is called sustainable growth. The sustainable growth concept says that company is growing with an internal source of fund. The sustainable growth is simply defined the maximum growth rate a company can attain, a company can achieve by internal source of fund. While exponential growth rate, a growth rate that company can achieve from external source of finance. Like if a private equity is placing a money in a startup, their growth is exponential growth. In yesterday news, there is a startup which is called Nira, N-I-R-A. Nira is a fintech startup by two young chaps, Nupur and Rohit. They got approx $2.5 million just yesterday. So by getting $2.5 million from a venture capitalist is an example of exponential growth. Dividend policy will not impact the exponential growth of a company, but dividend policy is concerned about the sustainable growth of a company. So when we are talking about that dividend will impact the growth of a company, here we are just talking about the sustainable growth of a company. The maximum growth a company can achieve by internal source of fund. So dividend will always impact the sustainable growth rate of a company. The maximum growth rate company can achieve from their internal source of fund. So if you have a higher amount of internal source, your sustainable growth rate will high. If you have a low amount of sustainable growth, your low amount of dividend, definitely you have a high amount of fund, so sustainable growth will increase. And if you are giving a high amount of dividend, so you have a low internal fund, your sustainable growth will go down. And last, investor satisfaction. Investor satisfaction or the study of satisfaction of investor is a very upcoming area in finance, which will cover in a topic called behavior finance. Because we don't have any scale, we don't have any measurement of a satisfaction of investor. It might be possible investor A is satisfied with a dividend amount ₹5, while investor B have an expectation to get a dividend of ₹10. So dividend policy should be balanced like that. Most of the investor, most of the shareholders should satisfied with this dividend policy concept. So that is all about the significance of dividend policy. Any confusion? Fine. Now we enter into what are the factors which influence the dividend decision of a company. Here, these are the list of factors which impact the dividend decision of any company, which impact the dividend decision taken by any manager. The first is a stability of earning, which is the most important parameter for any manager while taking a dividend decision. A stability of earning, which clearly explain if company net profit is stable. The term stable have a dual meaning. Either it's remain constant or growing with a constant rate year on year. Either your income is constant. Every year I'm making a profit of 5,000 crore. Every year from last 10 years, I'm making a profit of 5,000 crore, 5,100 crore, like that. It means my income is stable. The first parameter of stability of income, if my income is constant. And second parameter, if my income is growing with a constant rate year on year. It means if we try to draw a graph, either I'll get a straight line of an income or a line which is increasing with the same angle of incidence, with the same angle in an upward direction. So that is called a stability of earning. The first factor which influence a dividend decision of any manager is a source of income. And that source of income is coming as the net profit Anya, this tax position I'll discuss when we'll discuss different form of a dividend. The tax position part will be covered when we are discussing on different form of dividend given to a policy, different types of dividend declared to the shareholder, because every form like cash have a different tax implication. If I'm declaring a right issue or bonus issue, have a different tax implication. So that part I'll cover when we discuss on different form. Fine. The first factor is stability of earning. If as a manager I know that my income is stable, if I know that my company is growing with a constant rate from last 5 years, so that give a confidence to a manager. If my company income is growing with a 5% year on year, it means I'll maintain this growth in my earning for next year and coming year as well. In that situation, you may be flexible in your dividend decision. You are free to give a high amount of dividend to your shareholder, because you know that in next year the growth will be the same. The next year you may earn a certain profit, and that profit can be utilized for your growth purpose in a company. So if any company which have a stable income, a stability in earning, a stability in net profit, nothing much fluctuation in the economy, all the factors remain constant, in that situation company try to give a more dividend to the shareholder rather than retaining money with them. Next, financing policy of a firm. Every firm have a different financing policy. When we are talking about a financing policy is simply explained by one ratio, which is called leverage ratio. Every company have a different concept of their leverage. Some companies prefer to be a high leverage. It means the debt will be high in comparison to equity, while some companies prefer to be a low leverage company, where equity will be very high in comparison to debt. The recent example of Facebook and Jio investment is converting a Reliance as a zero leverage company by 2025. Mukesh Ambani have a clear thought to make Reliance Industry as a zero leverage company in the future. That zero leverage clearly indicates Reliance will pay off all their loan and debt capital. The Reliance will be funded by equity only. So this Facebook deal with the Jio is one of the major steps to convert their company as a zero leverage company. So the financing policy of firm, when we are talking about the financing policy of a firm, is simply explain what are the expectation of a promoter, what are the expectation of a shareholder towards their leverage ratio. Are they want to be a highly leveraged company, or they want to be a low leverage or zero leverage company? If they want to be a zero leverage company, the dividend or declaring a low dividend or amount which we retain become an important parameter, important source of fund for their day-to-day activity. If they declare higher amount of dividend, their most of the profit will go out from the company. And when they have a need of fund, they might borrow from outside. So if company want to be a zero leverage, the amount of dividend automatically will go down for first few years, because company do not want to pay more dividend to the shareholder, because paying a dividend is a net outflow for the company, and that outflow will reduce the cash reserve. And if company may have a need of a fund, that time company is supposed to take a loan from outside, and taking a loan from outside will again increase the leverage of a company. So the dividend decision, that entire dividend policy is depend on your financing policy, your pre-expectation about the debt and equity ratio. The next, liquidity of a fund. The liquidity need is linked to the working capital, or to meet your day-to-day expenses, to meet your current liability. The liquidity of a fund or the need of a liquidity vary from company to company, industry to industry, or a stage of the industry. Like a growing industry have a higher need of liquidity in comparison to mature industry or declining industry. Manufacturing industry have a higher need of liquidity in comparison to service industry. Like banking industry does not want to maintain their liquidity as they are already maintaining their CRR and SLR ratio. So they are not concerned about the liquidity of fund at all. So this liquidity of fund may vary from company to company, industry to industry. Generally, manufacturing firm have a higher need of liquidity. So if they have a higher need of liquidity, definitely they will declare low dividend to their shareholders because they want to retain cash with them. In that situation, when they are declaring a dividend, they do not want to declare a cash dividend to their shareholders. Rather than cash dividend, they will prefer to give a dividend in different format. They might give a bonus issue dividend, they might give a right issue dividend, they might give a certain different form of dividend, property dividend, a scrip dividend. So liquidity of fund directly decide the dividend decision of a company, dividend policy of a company. If company have a higher need of liquidity, they try to retain more money with them, they try to retain the maximum profit with them. In that situation, either they will declare a low amount of dividend or they will change the form of dividend. Rather than cash dividend, they prefer to give a dividend into a different format. So that's all about for today class. The remaining we'll discuss in next class. Any problem? Anyone have a problem? Or should we end this class? Fine. Take care. Bye bye.